Hey there, it's Roslyn here. I hope you're doing well. Today I want to share the 15 cards I made with Kendra's card challenge number 5. This is a great challenge that Kendra at Cards by Kendra here on YouTube has made, and she also has a Facebook group called Kendra's Card Challenge, so you can share all of your creations there. And also on Instagram, you can share your cards and you will be entered to win prizes. And there's a lot of good prizes this month. And no, this is not sponsored. Kendra hasn't asked me to do this video. I just wanted to share my interpretation on how I did this card challenge. Now, when I started card making, I was attracted to a lot of cute images that I would color and start making scene cards with them. But I got a lot of paper from card kits and the like, and sometimes I struggle using all that pattern paper. So this is a great way for me to practice using all that pattern paper, also to practice using sketches and interpreting those sketches to suit my style. So Kendra gives all of the cutting guides for 6 pieces of pattern paper. She has them all color coordinated here. She also has it listed which card sketch that each piece of paper that you cut goes with. And then she provides all these sketches that she made herself, and you can use them however you like with the pattern paper that you've cut. So let me get on to showing you the cards I made. So here are sketches 1 to 6, and I'll tell you what I did compared to the card sketch. Now, I went with a coffee theme. I went with a card kit from Pink and Maine that had these really retro pattern papers on it, and I wasn't too sure about the papers to begin with. It wasn't really my style, but I really like how these cards turned out and how I learned to really like this pattern paper. So here's sketch number 1. As you can see, I added some die cut coffee and donuts here, and didn't exactly do the sentiment, but basically the pattern paper is what is set with the cutting guides, and then I just decorated that how I would like it. For the second sketch here, there was an oval shape that was suggested on the paper here, and here are the pattern papers listed out here. So I did that, but went with a die cut coffee cup here and a nice sentiment to complement that. So it still has the feel of the sketch, but I went a little bit different. I tried to look at these suggested additions to the sketches, additions to the pattern paper, and not necessarily use that exact suggestion, but it's a good place to start. So that's why I changed that to a coffee cup. Here's my third card using sketch number 3, and there's a circle suggested here, and I had a nice coffee stamp that I used for that sort of placeholder circle there, and then added my sentiments. So for card number 4, I like the simplicity of this card. I did go with a rectangular shape as suggested here. I left out the banners here because it wasn't jiving with the design that I had, and the papers specifically didn't really go well with the banners, so I skipped that, but I can use them on another card. And of course added some embellishments from the same card kit from Pink and Maine. Card number 5. This was sort of a blank slate sort of sketch that I thought. I added some stenciling because white space to me, I don't know if I get along with it very well. So I added some stenciling from the stencil from the kit, added some of the the star stamps from the kit, and then added a die cut gnome. I just needed a little bit more to decorate that, and that's the great thing about this sketch, is that you can really do whatever you'd like. Even if you were to put the pattern paper here and even create your scene up here with your cute little images. That would be great too. And for card number 6, instead of white, I used some colored cardstock that came in the kit and added this nice label here in place of this rectangle. And I did put some embellishments here, but just in the shape of these coffee cups and hearts. So moving on to number 7, this is what I came up with. The sketch actually gave you an idea to emboss, and I think I would have embossed anyway, just because that much space on my card, really not having anything on it, that's just not my style. So I did emboss that. But Kendra did give you that suggestion here to emboss or stencil up above. And instead of the tag, I used a coffee. I'm sticking with my coffee theme here, and I used this strip, made it a little wider so that I can put my sentiment. And I really think these cards could be good for masculine cards as well because of the color palette. And who doesn't love coffee? I mean, there are people out there. I just don't know who they are. For sketch number 8, I added a fancier label here and just simply stamped that. I did use the suggestion of the 3 dots up here, and that was a nice simple card. I liked how it turned out, so I didn't do too much more with it. I did leave out the bow, but I liked changing up the shape of that rectangle. For card number 9, I really like how this card turned out. The suggestion of this square turned on the side was really cool. Because the pattern papers were very similar, I did, ink blend around the edges so it would pop off the page a bit more. I could have matted it. And I also, instead of having the bow here, I put a sentiment across the bottom instead and stamped some solid silhouette stamps here and embellished it. For card number 10, I really like how this one turned out as well. This piece of pattern paper was quite large, which is nice. Filled up the background, and instead of having this stitched oval here, I continued on with my coffee theme and added some coffee cut die cuts and my sentiment. And I think that turned out really nice. So as you can see, it is challenging me to be more flexible with my sketches and how I interpreted sketches. Some of them I kept quite close to, but I love the practice, and it's going to help me get better and better the more I do this to use sketches. So for this sketch, I stayed fairly close to the sketch itself, but I also added some die cuts, some silhouette images there of the martini glass. Card number 12, I went in a completely different direction, and because my paper was double-sided, you can see many more patterns throughout my cards because I had multiple choices on what side of the pattern paper that I wanted to use. So this one, I forget what was on the back of this one, but this yellow pattern paper stood out to me, and paired it with black, I brought in this cute little bumblebee here. So instead of this larger rectangle, which you can put sentiments, images, and everything on there, I cut the heart out of the stamp set, add my little bee, my little sentiment, and it's the essence of the sketch that I have here. Moving on to the last 3 cards, I just wanted to mention that Kendra does give you some tips here on how to cut the paper, how to mat your papers, and where you can find all the information. So the last 3 cards I'll share with you here. So for card number 13, I followed the sketch pretty much how it is here. The only difference is, instead of this white piece with the mat, I made the mat a frame so you could see through it. You could see the pattern paper through it, and that really framed out this to-go cup here of coffee. I took this suggestion of putting 3 dots here. I had a stamp set from my coffee set that had the little check boxes, so when you get your to-go coffee, they check off what you like. So that kind of, you know, emulated that part there. And to set that off, I added another little embellishment here. I really like how that one turned out. Sketch number 14, I stuck very close to the sketch. I really like the colors that I pulled in here. This scallop frame circle was also from the kit, and as well as the stamp, and I really just think that's nice and simple. I didn't embellish it, I just like how it is on its own. And then for the last sketch, which I think from what I've seen from people sharing, it's pretty popular to make these pattern papers into gift boxes, and I did the same. I just trimmed down the larger rectangles a little bit shorter than the longer ones to make it look more like a gift. I added some bows to indicate that. I added an embossing folder here. It's a confetti sort of a confetti embossing folder from Pink and Main. I also took some of the little stamps in the kit and dressed up this white sentiment strip that I added here, so that it all kind of goes together. So let me know which one is your favorite. I really had a great time doing this card challenge, and I don't want to miss any of them. I've participated so far in all 5, and I can't wait till next month when there is another card challenge by Kendra. So I hope you guys have a great day, and we'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.